being here. Maria, thank you for that as well, talking about public sector. By show of hands, who currently is dealing with customers in the cloud and public sector? This is okay, right? A couple hands, but we're all affected by public sector. We just came back from AWS Summit in Ottawa last week, and it really got me thinking leading up to this event. We're all affected by public sector, and this was sort of really at the forefront of a lot of the presentations last week. We saw sort of the skeletons in the closet with Canada once COVID hit, right? We saw the government react in good ways and bad ways. All of us were sort of affected in a different way. But in our daily lives, we're all affected by public sector. So whether you're going to a hospital, whether you're dealing with maybe a parent who's aging, whether your children are going to school, university, whatever it may be, we're all interacting with public sector in a certain way. So I really think as a citizen of Canada, it makes me excited to be able to deal with public sector. And we really have the ability to sort of change and chart the course of AWS consumption and overall cloud consumption, coming in the next 10 to 15 years. We know based off of what Maria said and what we've heard many times, there's going to be over $20 billion worth of infrastructure put into the Canadian market. Obviously, having this extra region in Calgary is a huge deal. It reduces latency. When we talk latency, this is milliseconds across the country. But it reduces latency and dependency. And that was a big topic of conversation in some of these breakout sessions in Ottawa based around disaster recovery. So again, what sort of sparked this idea of disaster recovery? When you have a country go into lockdown, how many times? I can't even remember. You really flesh out some of the technical issues, infrastructure issues that we're facing in our country. So the ability to have another, I guess I'll steal someone's quote from the summit, was an AZ, okay? Not availability zone, A spelled EH because it's Canadian, okay? So we have more availability zones. We have the ability to service the country now faster than ever, and we will going forward. The other thing I noticed at AWS Summit was partners like yourself in the room who were wanting to learn more about public sector, or maybe they were only dealing in a specific vertical but wanted to be able to penetrate a different vertical, whether it was healthcare or government, nonprofit, education. There's a lot of movement in these sectors. When a show of hands went up in one of the rooms on disaster recovery, over 50% of those people were government employees, Government of Canada employees. We know that these sales cycles are a little longer with the government, but they're eager. They need to make changes, right? We've got Shared Services Canada, which sort of oversees procurement across many different organizations in the country. This is a good thing. It's sort of a consulting arm of the government, and we can help you get to shared services. We can help you get on these procurement contracts, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But I just wanted to share that with you because I found it very interesting that over half of the room were Government of Employee Canada's, especially with disaster recovery. This is at the forefront of their mind. And the other thing from the Ottawa Summit was it was over capacity. There was, I think, over 1,000 more attendees than they expected. Every talk I was in was standing room only by the end of the conversation. So keep that in the back of your head. We're going to talk about 4 things before lunch. I won't make it long, I promise. Number 1, how can Ingram Microcloud help you with your public sector practice? And then the next 3 are simple. These are really good programs that AWS has in place that can be facilitated through us. Accelerated development, think big for small business, and the newbie program. Maybe you've heard of some of these. If you want to go into detail, feel free to talk to me and Tad as well, and some of our AWS representatives. But first and foremost, how can we help you with your public sector practice, even if you don't have a practice right now? While we're talking, and I think Francisco did a great job of sort of outlining our eagerness to help, it made me think of Jerry Maguire, like help me help you, so help Ingram Microcloud help you. That's what we're here for. That's what AWS is here for. We want to help you grow in this space. We have the people, we have the knowledge, and we have the ability to help you at a very quick rate, okay? So we like to focus around strategy. What can I help you with from a business planning standpoint? What verticals are you in currently? Which would you like to be in? How long is it going to take you to get there, right? What's the timeline for this? My Apple Watch keeps pinging, I got to keep moving. It's telling me to step, so I'm going to step. I want to focus, so I want to be able to help you focus on growing your consumption, maybe in a vertical that you're already in, maybe it's in new verticals. How can we do that together? Well, we're going to help design best practices to get there, okay? We know what Ingram Micro, Cloud, and AWS can do from a support standpoint. Tad talked to our training. It's fantastic. Kelly and Tad do an amazing job, as well as Ishmael. Getting our partners and their employees up to speed, continually certified, and we do a great job facilitating that. Also, Yashima, Jasmine here from our marketing team, we're here to help you and we're ready. We have our Center of Excellence that you can leverage as well. And this is a really big topic when we talk about growth, whether it's company growth or whether it's growth into different segments of the public sector market for you. We have the people power, we have the certifications, we have the smarts to do it. Leverage us. If you don't have the people today, that's okay. We're going to help you grow. But in the meantime, use us. Use our Center of Excellence. Allow us to help you do migration lifts, right, as a simple example. The other thing that we talked about was Cloud Checker, and Cloud Checker will speak a little bit later on. But from a reporting standpoint, this is key. We know in commercial this is important, but in public sector it's very important. When you're dealing with government entities, they want to know about security. They want to know about compliance. Cloud Checker gives you the ability to do that. So let's take a deep dive together on how we can do that in your company. That's part of us focusing the strategy. And then overall guidance. So whether you just began your APN journey or whether you're about to start it, or maybe you're advanced or premier partner, we have the ability to accelerate that. We have the ability to level up and certify your staff in an accelerated rate. And then we can also guide you from a procurement standpoint. Maria discussed this. That's what we're here to do. We have the people in place. We've had them in place. We know what's going on. We know what's going on in the government space, education, even aerospace, right? And then we're going to assist you with programs. So we're going to talk about a couple programs. But the end goal for a public sector partner on the APN track, as you may know, is to get into the public sector program. We're going to get you public sector authorized. This is the official stamp of approval. This is the seal of approval. You are bona fide. You are ready to work in the public sector. And I think you really need to spend time thinking about that. AWS has put these trainings, these badges, these certifications in place to really help you explain to your market, your customers, in the public sector or in commercial, what you're capable of. Some customers specifically look for partners with these certifications, and they won't even bat an eye at anyone else who doesn't have them, right? Especially when it comes to public sector. Let's talk about accelerated development. This is a program that essentially allows you to fast track your APN journey, okay, while creating best practices. So it's invitation only. You'll work with myself, you'll work with my team to discuss the ability to be nominated into this program. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold your hand through this APN journey. And you'll see we typically cut down the journey time from, let's say, registered to select or select to advanced tier by about half. Sometimes that takes people a year, 2 years. We can do that in 3 to 6 months, I say. We've seen this graphic before. I don't need to explain it. The majority of you are living in the services path or the software path. This program is available to both. So we're going to take a look at the services path right now. Apologies if the font is very small, but hit me up later for some guidance. If you're registered, we want to get you to select. If you're select, we want to get you to advanced. The thing that you care about is going from registered to select, because that allows you to get access to the public sector program. So that's where we apply, and that's how we can get authorized. Along with that is obviously a whole list of advantages and benefits that you have being at that tier. So this is what a typical services partner path looks like. We've got 5 main pillars, and some of them are very simple. Again, this takes around 3 to 6 months, 4 to 6 months. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get you aligned with APN. If you have never used APN or you don't know how to navigate it, we're gonna help you through that. AWS has a lot of information. They'll be the first to say it. Sometimes it's a little confusing, okay? We're gonna help you get through that. Logan spoke to our 290 certifications, which is amazing. We have a lot of people that have been through the APN and have done training. Next is the cloud enablement engine. This is really where we're going to help you create best practices for your business, specifically focusing on public sector. Okay, that's part of our strategy. And then our technical validation. This is really what sets you apart from the competition. This is what gets you noticed with your customers in your market. Okay? Then we're going to talk about the procurement path. And we work with Maria's team closely so that Ingram always fully understands what's happening at this point in time with federal government, provincial, municipal, education, healthcare, nonprofit. Okay, we want to help you navigate these. The advantage that we have is that we deal with a lot of partners in Canada who are already doing this. We have the knowledge. We know what it looks like to integrate with the government in the Northwest Territories, for instance. Okay, we have all these use cases that we can help apply to your practice. And then finally, go-to-market readiness. This is where we really set you apart from competitors in the marketplace, okay? This is where we get access to marketing. This is where we help you build your AWS microsite and really sort of let you fly from there, okay? From a services standpoint, some of the wording has changed recently with AWS, but what we're going with right now is a confirmed partner, becoming validated, and then differentiated. So what happens when you're validated? We have a whole list of opportunities here from AWS, getting your badges, getting into the well-architected program, public sector partner program as well. We want to be able to help you get differentiated. We want to help you stand out in that marketplace. And how we're going to do this is having you help us and us helping you. So from your end, we need someone to really own this, right? We need some executive sponsorship. We need a team. We need your AWS team to help. And from us, you're going to have our accelerated development program manager. We have wonderful people like Tad helping in this program. You're going to have myself heading this up. You'll have the ability to integrate with my team, our marketing, and Ishmael on our technical side. A couple of questions that typically get asked. What's the drag on resources? Maybe you're a small operation. Maybe you think you don't have time for this. There is nothing more important than progressing through the APN. So if you say you don't have time, think about that again. We need to progress through the APN. We need to be able to hold certifications and be at a tier where, again, we're separate in our marketplace from our competitors. This is a simple program. We're going to set up a bi-weekly, maybe a weekly cadence call, and we're going to coach you. We're going to guide you through this APN journey. There's no cost for this program. There's a lot of training involved from our end, but there's no cost to you. And again, we're cutting down your 1 to 2 year journey into about 5 to 6 months potentially. And what are the benefits? We know we're getting to select, we're getting into the public sector partner program, we're getting authorized so that we can deal public sector. All the while building up skills, offering certifications, best practices within your company. And maybe we're even learning about our company, right? We talked about the federal government and everything that they faced when COVID hit, how AWS was there to support. This is what we're going to help you with. Maybe we need to really take a look at the business plan. Maybe we need to approach a different market or get into a different vertical to see growth within the company. That's what this is going to flesh out for you. And it's very simple. We're going to work through a nomination with you. We're going to kick off. We're going to start our cadence together. We're going to look at an assessment of your overall business. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be next year, 5 years from now? What sectors do you want to be involved with? Maybe what provinces or territories you want to be involved with. I see not a lot of partners reaching far out to the west. This is a great opportunity because we're going to have a new availability or multiple availability zones in the west. It's a great time to move into different provinces, okay? Have a more national approach. We're going to hit our milestones, okay? So we're going to work through all the nitty-gritty, all the technical. We'll be there for support. And then we're going to graduate, and I'll feel like a proud dad, okay? I'm going to graduate you as a partner. And then we're going to see the benefits of this. You are going to see the benefits of this. More consumption, more accounts, a deeper reach into different verticals. Maybe we'll focus on one vertical, but we're going to become experts on it. So that is accelerated development. If you want to know more, let me know. Let Tad know as well. He's the guru behind it, the man, the myth, the legend. But I want to talk next about Think Big for small business, okay? A lot of us here maybe are involved with small business. I know I was. For the past decade, I was in disty and channel, okay? Small family-run operation, but we had a national reach. Programs like this really help with that type of company. You can utilize Think Big for Small Business in your accelerated development as well. So I don't want to get too technical about that, but just keep it in mind. And what it is meant to do is really maximize your time and give you the benefits of reaching your next tier sooner, okay? So what that means is we're going to expedite you. So I already talked about accelerated development. Now I'm going to say the word expedite. So we're going to help you receive the benefits of that next tier sooner, okay? While you're taking the time to get your certifications up to a place where you can apply for that tier. We're going to have the ability to run a technical capability discount for a public sector partner program. And here's what it really looks like. So I hope everyone can see this, but typically from a registered on the far left-hand side, what we're looking to do is get you to select, okay, so that's the second column, and then on the advanced side, that's the fourth column. So in the first column, these are the requirements within a 6-month period to reap the benefits of select. Okay, you have that amount of time to actually get all the certifications that you require and hit all the milestones that you need to hit in order to be select. If we utilize and leverage this program in coordination with the accelerated development, that's going to be no problem, okay? And then the same holds true for advanced. This is also available for software partners. And the goal of this is really to get you to complete that foundational technical review, okay? This gets you differentiated from your competitors in the marketplace. And it's very simple. We will work together with AWS to get you nominated. We will ensure that you have your FTR by the end of it. If you already have, this program's not for you, but we'll get there. And this is really for businesses, again, that are small, 150 employees or below, minority-owned businesses. You can see all the fine print, but we can talk about that later. And then we want you to become a member of the Public Sector Partner Program if you're not already, with a couple references, okay? And this could be in any vertical. AWS is going to fund you. So there's $5,000 in AWS funding, 2,500 of it in POC credits, so this is fantastic, especially if you're penetrating a new vertical and you want to be able to utilize those POC credits to architect something in this new vertical, leverage Ishmael from our team for that as well. And then once you complete your FTR, you will receive an additional 2,500 in marketing development funds. This is very important, right? If you don't have a marketing department, maybe you don't because it's Think Big for Small Business, utilize us, utilize AWS. The budget's now in place for you to do that, and we have the ability to walk you through it. From a technical support standpoint, FTR Prep Day Workshop. So what Ingram is really good at is training and making ourselves available. Kelly, Tad, they do an amazing job, as well as Ishmael, with our training programs. These prep days, these workshops, anytime you see immersion day or anything from Ingram, it's going to be a really good event, okay? And then last but not least, because I think I can smell lunch, is the newbie program, okay? Very simple, 5% discount from AWS on new business engagements, okay? New customer accounts, new opportunities. It's available globally, but it's specifically available to distribution, that's us, Ingram Micro, with public sector. So if you're not working with Ingram already, get that DSA signed. Let's work you through a program like this. You will have access to it, okay? And what it is intended to do is just help you expand incentive for your new customer and workloads. It can stack on top of what we already have in place from a margin standpoint. We can talk to Logan a bit more about that. He is the margin guru, but we can run it concurrently with those programs. And again, all you need to do is just add this WWPS newbie into your campaign in ACE. If you don't know how to use ACE, again, we can help you with that. The team will validate that, and then we start discounting when billing begins. Let's eat some food. Okay. Thank you all for your time.